What if your entire world depended on a tournament? Not just any tournament, but one where losing doesn't mean defeat, it means extinction. And what if the fighters weren't just warriors, but gods, monsters, assassins, and broken champions pulled from dying realms? Welcome to Mortal Kombat II, 2026, a world where every punch has consequences, and every death is just the beginning. But before the real battle begins, we are thrown into blood. The movie opens in silence, broken only by the sound of war drums echoing across a dying kingdom. We are in Edenia, a realm once peaceful, now collapsing under invasion. King Gerard stands at the center of it all, a warrior king, fighting not for conquest but survival. Across from him stands Shao Kahn, a monster disguised as a king. Armored in bone-like metal, his hammer crackles with dark energy, a weapon designed not to fight but to erase. And then, the first blow lands. This isn't a duel, it's execution. Steel collides with flesh, bones shatter, and Edenia falls in real time. Gerard fights with honor, but honor means nothing here. One brutal strike later, his fate is sealed. And Shao Kahn does something far worse than killing him. He takes his daughter, Kitana, a child forced to kneel before her father's murderer. And in that moment, she is reborn not as a princess, but as a weapon of Outworld. Then, suddenly, the screen cuts. A glitching film reel appears, a retro logo. A loud 80s rock track explodes into the scene. We are now watching a movie within the movie, a cheesy action film starring Johnny Cage, a washed-up Hollywood star. Famous once, forgotten now. He's arrogant, loud, sarcastic, and completely unaware that his real life is about to collapse into a war between realms. Because somewhere beyond Earth, the tournament is coming, the Mortal Kombat tournament. And this time, Earthrealm cannot afford to lose. But Johnny Cage doesn't believe any of it. Not yet. And that's where everything begins. Because the warriors of Earthrealm are about to make a choice. Bring him in, or die without him. But what they don't realize, Johnny Cage isn't just an actor. He is something else entirely, something even he doesn't remember yet. And that changes everything.
Earthrealm is dying slowly, and its protectors know it. Lord Raiden, the Thunder God, gathers the remaining champions. Among them, Sonya Blade, military precision, no fear. Jax Briggs, cybernetic strength and loyalty. Liu Kang, fireborn destiny. Scorpion, Hanzo Hasashi, a spirit bound by vengeance. And others, each carrying scars from past wars. But something is missing. A final fighter. A wild card. So they go to Earth. And they find him. Johnny Cage. Standing in a cheap hotel hallway, signing autographs for fans who barely remember him. When Raiden appears and tells him the truth, Johnny laughs. A tournament between realms? Demons? Gods? He thinks it's a prank. But when Outworld assassins arrive that same night and tear through reality like paper, Johnny realizes one thing. This is real, and he is not prepared. Meanwhile, Kitana grows up in the shadow of Shao Kahn. He calls her daughter, but she remembers blood. She remembers Edenia, and she remembers her father's death, by her father's killer. Shao Kahn is not just a ruler. He is a god of domination, and his plan is simple. Win Mortal Kombat, and erase Earthrealm completely. But he needs something first, an ancient artifact, an amulet capable of amplifying his power beyond mortality, something hidden within Raiden's temple. And now, the hunt begins. Johnny trains reluctantly, fails constantly, gets thrown across arenas, mocks everything, until slowly, something awakens inside him. Reflexes he never understood, instincts he never trained for. Because Johnny Cage was never just an actor. He was always meant for this fight. But what he doesn't know yet is that the tournament has already begun. The Mortal Kombat tournament is not announced with ceremony. It begins with blood. One by one, champions are transported to brutal arenas across realms, volcanic wastelands, floating temples, broken cities carved from bone. And there, the fights begin. Baraka tears through opponents with blade arms. Kano laughs while committing atrocities like they're jokes. Scorpion returns from death itself, dragging enemies into hellfire. And Johnny Cage, he fights like a man who refuses to die. But the deeper they go, the more something feels wrong. This tournament is not structured, it is manipulated. Shao Kahn is not waiting for victory, he is forcing it. Because while fighters battle, his real plan unfolds. The amulet is stolen, and the rules of mortality begin to break. Now, death is no longer final. Wounded fighters rise again. Some return as revenants, others return wrong. And in the middle of this chaos, Kitana makes her choice. She betrays Shao Kahn and joins Earthrealm. But betrayal in Outworld is not forgiven. It is punished brutally. And then it happens. The tournament collapses into chaos. No structure, no order, just war. Johnny Cage and Kitana fight side by side for the first time, not as champions, but as survivors. But just when victory feels close, Shao Kahn activates the amulet, and everything changes.
The amulet doesn't just give power, it rewrites reality. Shao Kahn becomes unstoppable, armored in glowing darkness. His presence bends space itself. Earthrealm begins to fracture, skies collapse, mountains break apart, and Raiden realizes the truth too late. The tournament was never meant to decide anything. It was meant to weaken resistance, so Shao Kahn could end it all at once. Final battle begins. Johnny Cage faces Shao Kahn. No powers, no gods, just a man who refuses to stay down. Kitana confronts her past. Sonya and Jax fight through endless waves of Outworld soldiers. And Scorpion faces a choice between revenge and redemption. One by one, the heroes fall. But Johnny Cage stands again, bruised, broken, still talking trash, and somehow still fighting. In the final moment, Kitana destroys the amulet. The power collapses. Shao Kahn is not defeated, but sealed away. Not dead, not gone, just waiting. Earthrealm survives, barely, but victory has a cost. Many fighters are lost, and some are not coming back as themselves. As the dust settles, Johnny Cage stands alone. No longer a joke, no longer a washed-up actor. Something else now, a warrior of Earthrealm. And Raiden looks at him with understanding. This was only the beginning, because somewhere, beyond the realms, a necromancer is watching, and fallen warriors are already being called back. And that's how Mortal Kombat II ends. Not with peace, but with warning, because the next war is already coming. So what did we just witness? A tournament that wasn't really a tournament. A victory that felt more like survival. And a world still standing on the edge of extinction. If you think this was brutal, just wait for what comes next, because Mortal Kombat never truly ends. It only resets. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, because the next realm of this story is already opening, and you do not want to miss what happens next.